a delegation. I was part of a delegation that left to Washington, D.C. to attend a Caribbean and Central American Energy Summit that was hosted by Vice President Joe Biden in the U.S. The objective of the summit was to create a framework for private sector investment and renewable energy development. Attending were different Caribbean and Latin American countries, as well as representatives from the private sector. There were also a representative from the Caribbean Development Bank and the World Bank. The objective was, again, as I indicated, to move the Caribbean countries and the Latin American countries towards more renewable and sustainable energy, as in the different Caribbean countries, one of their biggest burden on their GDP is the importing of heavy fuel. St. Martin, for example, approximately 20% of our GDP is on importing oil products. Different Caribbean countries gave presentations on the initiatives they have taken in terms of adjusting legislations, in terms of the bottlenecks they have faced and the challenges they are facing. And presentations was given from, for example, Aruba, Jamaica, St. Lucia, Panama. Aruba, for example, was cited by Vice President Joe Biden as an example in the Caribbean, where right now 20% of the energy produced in Aruba is renewable energy. It was a good experience in terms of different Caribbean islands are facing the same challenges as we are on St. Martin, and there are ways for us to work together in meeting those challenges. My Aruba counterpart, we had a frank and good discussions where the same issues we are facing in terms of with our electricity company, GB, as well as solar energy, wind energy, and how they are going about it, and things that we can do and learn from them to proceed further. There was a representative, as I indicated, from the Caribbean Development Bank and the World Bank. They are there and are willing to provide funding for renewable development. And one thing was good to learn there is right now GB is in the process of, in terms of the street lighting, to replace all the existing street lighting with LED lamps. Those LED lamps and so forth are purchased in the US. And I met a representative from a company in Barbados that are one of the #1 in the world in producing LED lighting. And that was something unknown to me, but in any case, met contact with the gentleman. They are producing LED lamps in Barbados. It is being exported to the US, to Europe, and other Caribbean countries. And that's an opening for us to make contact with that company. And we could see if there is savings to be made. Instead of purchasing LED lamping from the US, we could purchase right here with a stamp on it, made in Barbados in the Caribbean. We have a national energy policy on St. Martin. So now the challenge is to look for ways in where we could implement that policy and move towards renewable energy. It's had been indicated time after time. We have abundance of sun and wind on St. Martin, and this is something I'll be working on in the coming weeks and months to see if we could get a project moving forward where that is concerned. So it was very informative. met different leaders from different Caribbean islands facing the same challenges. Some of them has made tremendous progress in that area, and St. Martin definitely could learn from that. I guess the Prime Minister, he headed the delegation there, and he would have some comments, I'm sure, to indicate on what was learned there in that summit.
Oh my, what an inventory list, and so unnecessary. But wait, your home contents are all insured by Be Sure. That means that you determine the amount you want to insure. No inventory list, no hassle.
Are you Be Sure? Be Sure.
Bob, I can understand why you're parking so carefully. Of course, when you can get 80% discount on your Be Sure car insurance. But that's overdoing it, Bob.
Are you Be Sure? Be Sure.
Yeah!
Here we go!
This is freedom, this is life. Happiness is all I'm seeking. Carpe diem, I'm seizing every day, not just the weekend. Here's to all the good times that have come to last. Here's to living in the now.
When you can afford what you crave, life just gets so
So
good.
alive and I'm feeling good, so good, so good, so good. Hey, I'm gonna live my life, feeling good, so good, real good, so
KFC, so good for everyone.
GEBE has been faithfully serving the communities of St. Martin, powering your home and our economy. Come rain or shine, our qualified team of professionals are working hard 24 hours a day to provide you and your family with safe, reliable electricity and water. We use the latest technologies and test our products daily to maintain the highest international standards. Our friendly staff is always there to assist you, whether in person, over the phone, or online. We are committed to constantly improving our products and services, making them more efficient, effective, and environmentally friendly to serve you better today and our next generation of clients tomorrow. GEBE, powering a brighter future.
Our friend Megawati is here with tips to save you energy. 1. Turn your airco temperature up. 2. Use a ceiling fan instead. 3. Buy energy saving products. Save some green with NVGEBE.
Only Hilux overcomes Hilux. A new era for pickup.
Life is a journey full of connections. You're in safe hands even when life starts too soon. You don't have to miss a single beat. When a bad hair day makes you sad, just sharing can bring you joy and more to come. They take the plunge, turn fear into faith, while you capture those beautiful moments. In the game of life, it's family that counts. They'll be there even when you lose. We all have our moments of reflection and hope. And when you feel you're losing everything in life, we're there because there's more to come. When life starts too soon, you don't have to miss a single beat. We're here to connect you and share life. Telcel, when you want more.
Need a loan that's quick and easy. Island Finance. Up to 50,000 guineas real easy. Island Finance. For education, a renovation. That's no problem. Yes, it's true. That's not all. They're quick and friendly too. Island Finance. Appliances, vacations, even fix your car. You can depend on Island Finance.
Look ahead.
everybody. Lucas said energy, get ready. Hey, nobody shutting down this. Lucas said in the van, the whole crew up and ready. Lucas said in the hand, the LZ. Lucas said energy.
You know that the islands following the IPCO meetings, the 3 Caribbean islands, have been in contact with each other regarding this matter to come to a final agreement on the text of a draft kingdom law to establish an institution that would then be the institution to deal with disputes within the kingdom. So a decision has been arrived as to that draft. Now they're working on the elucidation to that, because it is necessary that when this is submitted and with the elucidation, the parliament committees that looked at this draft will then forward this draft to their governments. So it is not as if Parliament is on one trajectory doing its thing, or the parliaments on one trajectory doing their thing, but rather coming out of the IPCO and a clear understanding that we had as 4 parliaments as to the parameters for this dispute regulation. We now have a draft taking those parameters into consideration, and at least the Caribbean countries will be sending this to their respective governments. Of course, we have, as we did in the past, rejected the proposal by Minister Plastek, and we are now working on the elucidation to our draft. There is also a proposal for an amendment initiative to be submitted when the Dutch Second Chamber deals with the draft amendment to the Charter, which you know came from the hands several years ago of a member of the Second Chamber back then, Mr. Van Oven, and has now been taken over by Mr. Van der Laar. So we have learned that that proposal will be dealt with in the beginning of June, and an amendment to that proposal is also being proposed by, in this case, a member of Parliament from Aruba. It will be an initiative amendment. So that's as far as the Aruba trip is concerned, and a briefing as to the outcome thereof.
The Department of Sports is holding its 2nd annual Sports International Seminar on May 13th, upcoming, at the University of St. Martin. It's the motivation for this is to be able to empower local sports governing bodies with the department's plans and commitments that we have to development of sports. The intention is that it will lead to ultimately to longevity and continuity in sports and recreation on St. Martin. Based on the information that they had received from last year's informational seminar on May 28th, from the local sports governing bodies, it was decided that they would focus on dealing with these specific topics that had come up. Number 1, filing taxes as an association or a nonprofit organization, the procedure for bringing athletes and coaches to St. Martin for events, tournaments, or trainings, the procedure when requesting government-owned, the usage of government-owned sports facilities, as well as what is expected from associations and federations before and after they have received incidental or structural subsidy from the Department of Sports. These were all very pertinent discussions that had been had last year, and as such, the Department of Sports has organized for several presenters to be at this seminar, namely from the Department of Sports itself, from the Immigration and Border Protection Services, Inspectorate of Taxes, from the Foundation Upkeep Sports Facilities, from the National Sports Institute, as well as an accountant, Mr. Angelo Brazo. So all sports entities that have received the invitation, of course, and all those who may not have, via whatever circumstances, are reminded that on Friday, May 13th, there will be that meeting, that seminar at the USM. So I do encourage them all to come out. in order to facilitate all requests that they make and to facilitate the ability for us to promote sports and recreation here on St. Martin.
It's been said that behind every door, possibility awaits. How much possibility depends on which door you open first. Every day, we help our customers discover the possibilities in their lives. It all starts with a conversation. Scotiabank. Discover what's possible.
Only Hilux overcomes Hilux. A new era for pickup.
These are the doors that never close. These are the hands that make a difference. These are the walls that could tell countless stories of helping and healing, of storms weathered, of change and growth, of a place where life begins, where hearts are mended, and where hope grows stronger. For more than a quarter of a century, the physicians, medical professionals, and staff of St. Martin Medical Center have combined advanced medical technology and compassionate care to bring a world of medicine to our friends, neighbors, and visitors to the island of St. Martin we all call home. As proud as we are of what we have accomplished, we believe there is still much work to do to continue a proud tradition of providing everyone in our community with the latest technology, the best medicine, and the most exceptional care. St. Martin Medical Center, celebrating 25 years of serving, caring, healing.
One,
2,
3,
4. This is how common it is to develop a mental illness. 1 out of every 4.
4,
4.
4. But there is hope. Today, most mental illnesses can be managed and treated. Visit your general doctor if you feel concerned about your thoughts and behaviors or have some difficulty dealing with some of life's issues.
If you have been diagnosed and are suffering from a mental illness, keep in mind these 4 points to help you manage your mental health.
1. Get regular checkups with your general doctor.
2. Stay on your treatment plan to prevent relapses.
3. Find a strong support group in your family and friends.
And 4. Never be afraid to ask for help and look out for the warning signs of your illness.
Remember, you are not alone. We are as close as one.
2.
3.
4.
Learn about mental health illness by going to the Mental Health Foundation's website at www.mhf-sxm.com.
The continuation of the meeting with the finance minister will be Monday, May 16th at 9 o'clock in the morning. That afternoon at 2 p.m., we will have the meeting requested on the so-called vote buying by the members Myers, Heiliger, Leonard, Richardson, Johan Leonard, and MP De Weaver and MP Marlon Romeo. That's for Monday afternoon. On Tuesday, we will be having in the morning at 10 a CCARE meeting, the convening of the one that could not take place because of the lack of a quorum. And then in the afternoon, we will. That is the one from the CCARE committee, the Committee on Kingdom, and Interparliamentary Relations. And then that afternoon, we will be hearing from the Freedom Fighters Foundation on the topic of legalization of cannabis. That's their request. And yes, that's 2 o'clock on Tuesday. We are waiting an agreement on the time from the foundation. So the request came from them. We scheduled it and we are waiting for that to be confirmed. It's on Wednesday at 11 in the morning that we have invited the Independence for St. Martin Foundation on their request to a meeting. That will be the Central Committee. The one on the issue of cannabis would be with the Justice Committee, the one that I referred to earlier. And the St. Martin Foundation, the Independence for St. Martin Foundation, has indicated they would like to speak about holding a referendum on independence and getting the territory of St. Martin on the United Nations decolonization list. So that is on Wednesday morning, and then on Wednesday afternoon at 3 p.m., continuation on the discussion on the sale of the new government administration building, that we need to get a confirmation from the Minister of General Affairs. On Thursday in the morning, the Committee on Finance will be discussing and looking at a draft budget 2017 of the Ombudsman of St. Martin. And Thursday afternoon, we'll have a public meeting where we will continue the discussion on the Spatial Development Plan Ordinance of St. Martin. And then on Friday, as I mentioned earlier, we'll have a closed-door session with the MOT, the Financial Intelligence Unit on St. Martin. So that's what the schedule for Parliament looks like for next week.
The sheep in the flock was standing by your side, but you tell them to jump on the plane and commit suicide. The flock didn't want you no more to lead them on, so that is the same reason why you're gone. So second devotion, the flock didn't want you to lead them on, myself. The trust that they had in you without God. You were the Prime Minister, of that we are aware. But you couldn't be a black, gonna tell you, get you black out of here. Airport. You send her a letter telling her to go home, but the block was behind her, so she was not standing alone. You tried to keep the whole flock in the dark. Then you and your voice and up the Emilio Wilson path. The next move was to increase on the road tax. Stop you in your tracks, and a lot of times the clock didn't want you to lead them on, myself. The trust that they had flock into hell. The flock was a leader who has good leadership. They don't expect to be dealing with no hypocrite. Fixing the end indeed God. Then you and your boys and love the evening, you will survive. Your next was to increase until your life. But thank God, it's up to you right, and you're not a fight. The clock was on who will be them all, will ya? Otherwise, like myself, you will be all, my friend. You are the prime minister of that reality.